Welcome to the All Aboard with Visit Mickey podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the All Aboard with Visit Mickey podcast. This is an episode that's going to be dedicated to Disney Cruise Line. I do have Dustin here, our Disney Cruise expert. He is like in the thick of it when it comes to Disney Cruise. We're actually got a different kind of itinerary, I guess, today. We each have one topic that we want to discuss. And then we put out a survey a while back on Instagram that said, hey, what do you want to know about Disney Cruise Line? And we had 22 responses. So even though I know this is a podcast, we do also record it. Here in my popcorn bucket, my Mickey balloon popcorn bucket, I have put the 22 responses, and we're going to pull them out randomly with I actually have seen the questions, but Dustin has not. But I saw them, cut them up, put them in the popcorn bucket, and have not looked at them again. So they might even surprise me. So hello, Dustin. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing, Tricia?
I am good. I know summer's kind of coming to an end, right? Because we're about to be in August. Still feels a little bit like summer. But wow, it was a blur and so busy. How was yours?
Yeah, it's been really good too. I think for both of us, it's kind of been Disney Cruise Line everywhere. We both have had Disney cruises this summer, and we both still have some coming up later this year. So yeah,
and isn't that the best news? It's the best news ever. It is so funny. I will just kind of preface this by saying I went on a cruise in June. I went to Alaska. I did an Alaskan Disney cruise in June. And then we advertised like crazy our coast-to-coast July 4th cruise. And we all the time, we were going, go coast-to-coast DCL with us, go coast-to-coast with us, go with us. So we had one team member in Alaska on the Disney Wonder, and we had Dustin on the Disney Wish for the July 4th celebration. And all of the things you guys were sharing made me on July 3rd book a cruise for July 13th. Marketing works, but it works on me. So
right.
I am the target audience, I think. But then, so I went in June, and then I went again in July, and I am going again in September. So I do not have an August one booked.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I talk to many people, after they go on their first Disney cruise, and it's one of those things. If you go once, you're most likely going to get hooked, and that bug is going to bite you, and you can't stop. And when you're not on a ship, you're going to dream about being on a ship. You're going to compare everything every day in your life to what it's like being on a ship, and wish you were there and dream about it. And you will use all of your spare time researching and booking and planning your next Disney cruise. So
yes, if your first one is successful, you are hooked. If it's not successful, there is a good chance you did not have a planner helping you, because boy, do we know a lot. And it is just so hard to get all the information by yourself. I think a lot of that comes to, there's a lot of people just put their opinion, and we do try to boil down to some real facts. But then also, you don't know what's old, right? The internet doesn't always show you the current situation. So you might pull something up and not know if it's true or not, and then you follow that down the rabbit hole, and then, you can be easily, discouraged. But right now, there is nothing negative to go on, because you were just on a cruise. I was just on a cruise. We both have cruises in September, so life is good. Why don't we have you kick it off? Because yours is actually something that we already talked about, the coast-to-coast Disney cruise. So why don't we have you kick off what it was like to be on the Disney Wish for the 4th of July 250th anniversary of the United States.
Yeah, I mean, I will just say it now, it was so much fun. So a couple of friends and I, we actually booked this cruise Really, I don't even think it was a month out in advance. It really wasn't. It kind of just all came about. I've also kind of like broke my one personal rule of I've always said like this was Disney Cruise number 22 for me, and I've always said, I would never do a 3-night cruise. Like that's just too short. And I live in Ohio, and it's not like I can drive to the port and just make a nice weekend out of it. Like, there's a lot more that goes into traveling to get down there and finances, right? And so it just lined up perfectly, this cruise, to be honest with you. My friends that I went with, they kind of already had an extended weekend because of the 4th of July, and the price was actually pretty good, even booking late. And so I to be honest with you, I didn't think my friends would be on board when I kind of presented them with the idea, but this was their second Disney cruise for both of them, and they've been itching to get back on a Disney ship since last year. So they were very excited to make it work. And so we did. And like I said, it was only a 3-night cruise, but it was everything I wanted and more, at least with the timing.
Oh, yeah.
you plan a big, you might plan a big 5-night cruise, or, a 4-night cruise, or even a 7-night cruise. And you're expecting, you're planning out this nice big, family vacation or whatever. We did not have that mindset. We had the mindset of, this is going to be a weekend getaway. It's going to be so much fun. It's just going to be packed full with a bunch of just, goodness, celebrating America.
Yeah.
And so ultimately that's what it was. And like, I didn't regret it at all. Of course, 3 nights wasn't enough on the ship, but we were just very intentional with our time, and we just did everything we wanted and more. We saw all of the extras, and which we can get into. I've created a list so I don't forget things. But yeah, I'm just here to correct myself and saying there is a time and place for a 3-night cruise, and they can absolutely be worth it.
Yeah, it was so funny because after Dustin booked and told me, and I just was like, can I do that? Can I get on that same sailing? Is there any chance? I was like, and then I waited too long because it was available still. And then I thought about it some more and thought about it some more and thought about it some more, and then it was gone. And I'm like, okay, well then it wasn't meant to be, and that's okay. But it really did work out because then I got a 5-night on the Destiny. I did it with my daughters, and that was great. One thing I would encourage, we are on podcast, which is not visual. So today I took a moment to go to our Instagram page and go through our 250th anniversary highlight reel on Instagram. I was just smiling ear to ear. It might be one of the things that you have there, but even the towel animals, and they did the bald eagle towel animal on the bed. And like even that, going down to that level for the 250th anniversary, obviously the special foods and things like that, but drilling down to the very special towel animal, I'm like, Disney, they just get it right.
And there was America 250 chocolates to go with the bald eagle.
And it's in that highlight reel. So if you look at the stories highlight reel on Visit Mickey's Instagram account, you will see where we did the leading up to, while they were actually there, and through July 5th. So we went through July 5th because that next morning it actually was on the Wish. So it was your picture. And it was a beautiful sunrise, just all the golden, beautiful colors in the morning off deck 4. So go check it out. I mean, it must be like 30 or 40 pictures that you go through in the highlight reel, but it was really fantastic.
Yeah. And, and leading up to another thing that I'll talk about real quick about this is, when we all plan these Disney vacations, as you're getting closer and closer, I'm not sure if anybody else is like me, but like you're always studying the weather. You're hoping you have great weather for your vacation, and you're going to so many different destinations and you're still looking at the weather. And I would say leading up to the actual cruise, to Friday when we got on board, like the weather all weekend, everywhere we went, it was supposed to be raining the entire weekend.
Oh.
It was just the opposite. I don't think we had 5 minutes of rain the entire weekend, and the weather was spectacular. And so that helped with, some of the content that I was able to get and share with
Sure.
photos and videos and things like that. And I'm still to this day on my Instagram, I have so much great content from this weekend cruise. It was only 3 nights, but I have so much good content because the weather was just perfect. So yeah,
Well,
we were
you know
really
what?
lucky.
On top of that, looking at the pictures of the interior of the Wish again. So I went on the Wish 5 times in the first 18 months of the ship. And then I haven't been on it since. And now I'm looking at it going, it's so beautiful. I have to get on that ship again. I still, as far as beauty, I do think it's the prettiest of them. Like I love the Treasure, but the beauty of the Wish, and also knowing it was groundbreaking for Disney, and now everyone else you do compare to the Wish. Because you go, well, the Wish had that, but this has that, and the Wish had this, and then this one has that. You do compare it to the Wish. So, yeah, just looking at it again, going, wow, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, so that's kind of like me. I had not been on the Wish since the inaugural season 4 years ago.
Hmm.
So it was just a few months old when I was first on it. And of course, it was all new. It was the first of this class of ship.
Yeah.
And it was a 4 night. So, I mean, it was just, I took in what I could take in. But it was just hard, still getting used to the new design, new layout.
Layout.
And like,
Hmm.
I never denied the beauty of the Grand Hall. It truly is grand, but learning and trying to get used to just the ship layout in general, it kind of did take away from it. So to come
100.
back and get back on
Yes.
this ship, you're absolutely right. I mean, it was just wow. Like, I mean, it
Yeah.
truly is. It is considered, it's supposed to be Disney Cruise Line's castle. Every park in the world for Disney has a castle, and for Disney Cruise Line, the Disney Wish is supposed to be its castle. And it is exactly that. It is
It lives
stunning.
up to that. Because I know for me, even now, when we compare spaces, I still like Tiana's Bayou is my favorite of all the three, right? Like of
Sure.
the different, I rather be in Tiana's Bayou than in Doctor Strange's, Bleecker Street or be in the Skipper. That's the one I prefer. So anyway, but yeah, it just was like that reminiscent of seeing those pictures again and going, wow, that's a beautiful ship and I want to go back on her.
Yeah, absolutely.
But back to the things that you wrote down. So I'm excited to hear about some of the things you want to highlight.
Yeah. So this was obviously, like we said, so this was July 3rd through the 6th, celebrating America 250. And it was so much fun. Like, I know I keep saying it, but my friends and I really had a great time. But some of the special stuff that we had, and some of the stuff that I'm getting ready to announce or talk about was announced a couple of days before the cruise. A few things really wasn't announced. They just kept it as a surprise for us. So we didn't really know what to expect. But yeah, it was just great. It was really good. But so the first thing at the top of my list is we had a special dining menu. So we had the normal menu for whatever restaurant you were in that evening on specifically the 4th of July, but then they gave us a little extra menu for some special 4th of July offerings. And it was I won't even lie, I should have had ready everything that they had to offer. They had I think it was 2 entrees and 2 desserts to choose from, but all I remember is what I had because I loved it so much. And for the entree, it was the short rib. It was incredible. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I talked about it on my story and I said, it's so good. I'm going to be talking about it later when I get home. And I did just that. I actually even did a video and posted talking about how good it was because it was that great. And then the dessert we had for that evening at dinner was an America 250. I think it was like a vanilla bean cheesecake, and it had a piece of white chocolate on top with the America 250 Disney logo on it.
Oh,
So
okay. I
very,
don't
very
remember that
tasty.
on the pictures, but I do remember the pictures going, oh, my mouth is watering. Plus, short ribs, I mean, like, who doesn't love a good tender short rib? I
Right.
mean, it's one of, if it's on a menu, it's got to be a go-to.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If it wasn't for that same, so my issue was we were in 1923 that night, and so of course, I'm getting the special offerings because it's a one night only offering. But like I also really enjoy the menu in 1923. So like I had my lamb chops, we had a filet mignon. Like I just like it was, I mean, we were celebrating hard, America. You're welcome. It was so good, man. And
Oh
luckily,
my
like
gosh.
there was three of us, and luckily my friend sat across from me. So I had a whole half of a table to myself for all of my plates, and it was great. It was really fun. And to be fair, just to make me sound a little bit better, I only ordered the short rib and the lamb chops, but the server knew I really wanted the filet too, so of course he just brought it as well. So
Right.
but I wasn't complaining. So
I knew when you said 1923, I went, oh, his lamb chops. Ah, that's it. There we
yeah,
go.
of course. But anyhow, so that's kind of food. Other than they had special America 250 drinks of the day that were
And
literally
coffees.
and coffees. The
Yeah.
drinks of the day was like red, white, and blue, and they had like red and blue gummies, like gummy bears in them. It was very cool, very tasty, to be quite honest with you. They were very good. And then there was two specialty. I think there might have been actually three specialty coffee drinks.
Oh,
Uh, at all the coffee shops that were offered, and I actually highlighted the one that I got. It
the
was
apple pie one with the
yeah,
marshmallow?
it was the apple pie one with Cool Whip, and it had a Mickey head marshmallow with red, white, and blue
Yeah.
sprinkles on it. And if you can go to my Instagram, it's Dustin on deck, the number 4 DCL, and that post went viral. So I mean, everybody loved what it looked like, and it tasted just as good as it looked. And that Mickey head marshmallow actually had a top layer of white chocolate on it.
Oh.
You can't
I
really
didn't know
tell
that,
that
but
in the picture.
it is so funny because again, we said that Robert was in Alaska the same time you were on the Wish,
Yeah.
and he went up and took a picture and posted, and he got the same one. So, did you ever get the other coffee?
I did not. I did
Okay.
not.
He didn't
Again, like
either, I don't think,
it was
because
only
he was
three
like,
nights.
that's true. That's true. He
Yeah.
might have, but I'll have to ask him specifically when we go over Alaska. But
I
yes, I remember our post too, the apple
Yeah.
pie coffee post. It was like people saw that and they just loved it.
Yeah, it was, and it truly was really good. I got it. I'm trying to think. I think I got it iced actually. You can't really tell because it was covered from the Cool Whip and stuff, but it would have been fantastic warm as well. I mean,
Mm,
it was a great drink. So they did a very
yeah,
good
yeah,
job.
yeah.
So yeah, so we had specialty drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and then the coffee. And then there was just special little, red, white, and blue America 250 snacks all throughout the cruise, offerings everywhere. They had red, white, and blue cupcakes for dessert, I think both at Marceline Market and you could purchase in the sweet shop. So yeah, it was just really, really nice. It was a lot of little extra touches, which is what you come to expect from Disney, and
Expect.
they did they
Yeah.
did not disappoint. The last thing I really wanted to highlight was the night of the 4th of July. Actually, the night before, we'll go to July 3rd first. So Disney did, if anybody remembers, Disney did like a 24-hour live broadcast of, I think you can watch it on Hulu, Disney Plus, wherever, on all the Disney channels, essentially, that Disney owns. But anyhow, so they broadcasted the 24 hours on the ship for all of us. So part of it was broadcasted live up on the funnel vision, up on the top deck. And then other times of the day, like it would be on the schedule. You could see where it was going to be broadcasting at. So like other times you go to Periscope Pub, or it wasn't Periscope Pub on there. It was Keg and Compass,
Yeah.
I believe. The pub you can
Yeah.
go
The
to.
pub.
Yeah. But anyhow, so they did that the day before, which was really nice. And then the night of the 4th of July, so if you've been on a Wish class ship, you know that they like to have a live band perform for, like, the Pirates in the Caribbean deck party before the fireworks. And so they have the same band, but they changed the band up for America 250, and I think they were called Stars and Guitars. and they actually did a half an hour like rock band concert, like just performing covers. They did like Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA. They did Journey's Don't Stop Believing, and just songs like that. And so it was about a half an hour. And then the cruise director came out, and then we did a big countdown together to celebrate America. And then that led right into special fireworks. And they had a special soundtrack just for the 4th of July with a lot of patriotic songs. And it was really cool. And then when the
Was it longer? Were the fireworks longer?
It may have been like a minute longer. It felt like it was a little bit longer, but it wasn't that much longer. Okay. The grand finale was a little bit bigger and better than what we're used to seeing at sea. But after that, then go back to the stage up on the top deck, and all the characters come out in their red, white, and blue outfits and did a character dance party. Essentially, we're kind of used to it where, you know, all the characters come out together, and then each character gets a song where they can lead dancing on their own. So that's exactly how it was set up and coordinated. But it was just a lot of fun. Like, you know, they had red, white, and blue lights, you know, lighting up the top deck, all the characters out there under the stars. And again, beautiful weather. And it was just a great night, like truly celebrating America. And you could really feel it in the air. So it was fun. It was just a really good time.
I love that. I know that because you posted a lot, which you should. You know, it's very unique what you were doing. I know. I was just like, that looks incredible. And you know what? All it does to me, Dustin, is go, I can't miss the next big thing. Like, obviously, it's not going to be the America thing, right? We're not waiting around for that. So I don't know what the next big thing is, but I know I want to be on there. You know, I mean, it just... the way they do it differently and the way they elevate things, it just makes me go, I want to do that. I want to be, when something is happening, I want to be on the ships because it just looks so extra fun.
Yeah, and I will say too, like I even remember thinking sometime that weekend, like, why have I never tried to be on a Disney cruise for the 4th of July before? Like, I don't know. It's just nothing that had ever come to mind. And one of my friends, I think it was Laura. So Laura and Aaron, I went with. I think it was Laura. She actually said, she's like, we could do this each year. Like, we have no problem celebrating America at sea with Disney Cruise Line every year. Like, this was a lot of fun. And so, it's just those little things, you know.
Traditions are born.
Oh, right. I mean, yeah, it's great. And I think from their standpoint too, you know, for those that work and get all of the big holidays off work, like this is a perfect opportunity. I mean, they only took one day off work, you know.
Yeah.
We were on the ship Friday to Monday. We had Friday off, and then they flew down Thursday evening when work was over to be down there the night before, and they took Monday off to fly home. I had a little bit more time off work, so I actually stayed at Disney World for a few days when we got off the ship. So I stayed at Disney's Port Orleans Riverside, and so their flights home were not until that Monday evening. So they actually just came back with me to the resort, and we just had a great fun day at Disney World resorts, hanging out before they went back to the airport. So it was just it was quick, but It was a really good fun trip.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Well, it's funny. We talked about how you don't want to miss anything when Disney announces something good on the cruise, that you want to be there. So that does perfectly lead into the next conversation.
It does.
So
I believe it does.
You do believe it does? I do too.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously this is not going to launch for a few days. However, if you are anywhere near the verse of Disney Cruise Line, you know the next ship is called the Disney Believe, and that the Disney Corporation or Disney Cruise Line has announced that there is going to be a Disney Believe event this October. Well, Visit Mickey Vacation was invited to this event, The event is going to be like multi-locational, right? So the ship is in Germany, and so obviously that's where things are going to be happening live. And then they're going to have a party on the Disney Wish, which I'm so jealous that I cannot be on the Disney Wish for the party. And then also there's going to be something at Walt Disney World where it's invite only, and Visit Mickey has managed a spot at that party. So we actually did reach out to Dustin and said, hey, Dustin, this obviously makes sense for you. And obviously, or not obviously, but unfortunately, timing did not work for him to be able to join us to the Disney Believe event. But of course, he's excited for it. I'm excited for it. So I'll announce right now that myself, Tricia, and I am Tricia Loves the Mouse, right? And then Patty. So we have two Patricias going together to the Disney Believe event, right? The Disney Believe event. So this is October 6th through 8th, where the 7th is going to be the party that Disney's already advertising. So this is where you'll be able to watch it probably on all the things, right? Probably live on Disney Plus, but also online. They're going to make it available online. There's going to be multiple places to watch this, but it says there's going to be a grand reveal. And I believe we are going to find out who's in the front of the ship, who's on the back of the ship, who is the mascot of the ship, the statue. And is Captain Minnie getting another thing, or are we going to a different character, right? There is a lot of buzz about a different character being the mascot this time, being the captain. And it's exciting. It's exciting. So really the grand reveal should be these things. We're going to find out. That's going to be part of the reveal that comes all the way from Germany. And super, super excited to be involved in something so early, and to be invited. It means a lot. It means that we are really good at showcasing Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's such, I think we talked about this before even the Disney Destiny that came out last November, but like it is the perfect time to be a fan of Disney Cruise Line. There's so many incredible things happening, and it is just, again, I know we keep repeating ourselves, but it's just a premium product. And this is my personal opinion, I think Disney Cruise Line is just the best product the Disney company has to offer. And I love it so much. And I'm so excited to turn another page and start another chapter and really get into
with a new ship.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible.
Okay. So Dustin, all right. So Disney Believe is coming.
Yeah.
We know it's coming in 2027. I also think, are they going to reveal the date? Do you think they're going to reveal? I think they're going to reveal the date.
Yes.
I think we're going to know the front of the ship, the back of the ship, the statue of the ship. I think we're going to know the date. Yeah. And then the next big question, are you going to be on the Maiden again?
I have intentions of trying to be back on it. Yes, I do.
It's not hard when we're at the level that we are, because we get that early booking.
Yeah.
But I was curious, because after you did the Destiny Maiden, you kind of felt like that's going to be your thing now, because you loved it.
So lots of things to break down there. I had a lot of people in my ear and in my DMs prior to me doing the maiden voyage from the Destiny. Some people said, it'd probably be one and done. Some people are going to be like, you're going to love it. And other people are going to be like, it's just not that great because it's, everything's new. They haven't got settled in. And at the end of the day, I had the best time ever. And I have every intention of being on the maiden voyage for the Disney Believe next year. Granted, there's a lot of stars that will need to line up. We need to see what the dates are. We need to see how long the cruise is. We need to see how much the cruise is.
Yeah, I know. When they're long, it's
the maiden voyage for free, for the record, in case anybody is wondering.
Yeah, we don't get to travel for free. I will say, that yes, when the Destiny, well, on the Wish, right? So getting to go on the Wish in the maiden week, I went on the second one, not the first, was because I didn't want a 3-night, right? I didn't want a 3-night. Then when it came to the Treasure and like, the price of a 7-night when it's the maiden, that price was just too high. So
And over Christmas, right? Like,
yes, over the holidays, right?
yeah.
So it was really bang, bang, bang. So what will the belief be? You know what I mean? I think that's also going to be what's it going to be, and then if it can be short, then maybe, and if not, but yes, I hear
I
you.
think my hope is just not over a holiday, just because that affects the price. Like,
Yes.
over the holiday, like that essentially is fine, but just that would affect the price. And for the Destiny, I believe it was a 4-night for the maiden voyage, which was great. I think a 5-night would be perfect, but
Yeah.
it's fine. But what, but like that's kind of the things I'm going to be looking at. Number one is the price, and then really just exactly what the dates are, of course. But yeah, I'm very excited. I hope it works out. I hope I get to be back on it. Yeah, and I think it's going to be really fun. Either way, the ship is it's just going to be stunning. I know it is.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, the reveal brings up a lot. There's a lot of possible reveals.
Yeah.
A lot. And so excited. Listen, we are honored. We are excited. Do we love Disney Cruise Line? Yes, we do. Do we showcase it a lot? Yes, we do. And I think because of these things, we got the invite. But the reason we can showcase it as much as we do is because we love it. We are not putting on. We love the product, right? And
Absolutely.
It is a premium product, like Dustin says. And so, yes, is it more than other cruise lines? Sure, it is. But do we love it and get a lot out of it? Also, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So since I don't want to speculate very much on the Believe, even though I did throw the rumor out, it is a rumor that we are moving to a new captain. I am excited to see if that's real or not, but we'll see. Okay. In front of me. Oops, I just hit my microphone. Oh, was there something you wanted to say before we do this?
Yeah, I was just going to say, as far as that, I've actually been, I am one that loves to read and to get in the know and try to figure things out. Like, for some reason, I don't know why. I don't know if just in my mind, the Disney Believe doesn't come out towards the end of next year. So in my mind, it's just so far away. But I actually have not really read a lot of speculation about the Believe, to be quite honest with you. So I have not heard that about about there possibly being a new captain.
I heard it when I was just aboard the Destiny from a cast member.
That's interesting. I mean, I think that's probably a reliable source, but I guess I would be shocked. I would be surprised if they decided to switch that up for one of the last ships in this class. I would expect that to happen for the new class.
The next thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but
we'll see.
Who knows, right? Like, I'm not against it. It's just interesting.
Right.
And this is truly the first I'd heard of that. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So I am going to reach into we're going to go into the randomness of our podcast. This is again 22 different questions that we received through Instagram. We just said, ask us anything Disney Cruise Line edition, and that we would tackle it in a podcast without any, pretense, right? So we're not making this up. I mean, I'll even do this so you hear.
I'm nervous. Why am I nervous?
Okay. The first question is, what should I not do on my first Disney cruise? What should I not do? I have a quick answer, which is think you can do it all, or try to do it all.
Mine. First thing that comes to mind. Yes.
Yeah. Don't try to watch every influencer and think, I'm going to do everything I've researched. I've watched every influencer. I'm doing everything on this list. And I'm going to just start with the one that you and I agree on. Dustin and I both agree that when you arrive to the ship, on a very hectic day, going to the dining room instead of to the top and try to fight for a table and fight for food. When I say fight, you know what I mean. It's just a hustle and bustle of the buffet. Fighting for a table, but boy, you might be waiting for a table. You know how, unless you have a very early boarding number. So we agree, like we have the like-mindedness that you go to the dining room. It's a beautiful experience. It gives time for people to get aboard, a time to breathe after a morning hectic day. But that isn't even right for everybody.
Sure.
And so knowing what's right for your family is what I think. And I think trying to think you can watch influencers and then do it all, that would be a not do.
Yeah. My answer, I will, because that's literally the first thing that came to mind just now when you read that. So I will kind of piggyback off of that and I'll add to it. And that would be, don't feel like your cruise is a failure if you don't get to do everything that you think you want to do. And don't feel like you have to have every hour of every day of your cruise planned out. It's okay to not have a plan. Like a couple of the things that I will do, I've been on 22 Disney cruises, so it's not like I'm new to this. But even just a couple of weeks ago when I was on the Wish, like my friends and I, like we got on the ship, we went for a sit down dinner or a lunch, and then like we went through like the app. We went through the schedule, and like you can heart and favorite things that are interest you, and it'll remind you about, I think it's like 15 minutes before that event starts. So you can do that and go through and figure out, some of the things you want to do, but don't feel like you have to do everything that you are interested in. Or
even that, everything that you heart.
Yeah. Just go easy on yourself. Relax. It is your vacation. It is meant to be relaxing, and just obviously sprinkle stuff in. And I think the last thing I'll say, just because I have a big family vacation coming up with my cousins, aunt, uncles, and my mom, and it's, especially during the day, it's okay, like, for people in your party to break off and do what they want to do. And then you guys can come back together later on in the day to go to the Broadway show together and have dinner together. But, obviously this is different if it's a husband and wife and you have 2 little kids. But I'm just saying, like, in general, like, it's okay to have your own plan and to not have a plan for every hour of every day.
And because you said that, I'm going to add on that when I first started cruising with Disney, I was a husband and wife and 2 little kids. Mm-hmm. And we had kind of set the parameter of kids clubs, like how much kid clubbing we were going to do. Well, the kids loved it. And then when we got to go during the open house time, we could see why they loved it. Yeah. We still were not the parents that allowed from open to close. We still said, hey, this is a family vacation and we want you with us some of the time. Mm-hmm. However, it changed on the fly, right? My kids were going, but mom, look, here's this thing where, I don't know, the princesses were going to come read to us, and there was a Pluto pajama party. I want to go to the Pluto pajama party. Okay. Did they already reach the agreed amount? Sure. Was I going to say no because of it? No. It's their vacation. It's our vacation. Every time they went to the kids club, my hubby and I could go to the Cove or wherever, right? We could relax in the adult only spaces when they were having fun in the kids only clubs. So just be willing to change too, right? You don't have to lock in a plan before you board. Don't do that. Instead, make a plan on day 1, adjust as needed.
Can I add one more thing? This is something that has come up a lot I've seen online, and it's specifically for first-time cruisers. So there's a thing called fish extenders where, if you're in a Facebook group for your specific sailing, like somebody is probably going to create fish extender groups that you can join. You'll be put in a group with, maybe 5 or 6 other families. And, the goal is to bring gifts for those families. Those families will bring gifts for you. And then you exchange like gifts and stuff. It can be fun, especially if you have little kids or not. It could be fun for anybody. But the one thing I've noticed for for first time cruisers is they'll get wrapped up into this like for their very first cruise, and it ends up being more of a burden than something that is just elevating your experience. And that's just because it's their first cruise. So I guess, dare I say, if you're a first time cruiser, don't sign up for the fish extender, or at least don't put so much pressure on yourself for doing that. Just because literally in the past month, I've had multiple families I've seen post about how it was just too much for them. They wish they wouldn't have done it. And just because they have all of this to do on top of, learning the ship, learning what a Disney cruise actually is. So,
and fish extenders is a whole topic, frankly. I mean, it's a whole topic in itself, but I do hear you. Like, making that part of a first plan is a lot.
Yeah.
But we both have commented twice on this one. And
you really struck gold on the first one.
Yes. Okay, so we're digging in.
But maybe that should be a whole podcast of its own, just that one question.
Yeah. What is the minimum age required and recommended? So the minimum age required is 6 months. So there you go. There's the minimum age required. And now there's the minimum age recommended. I have a very standard answer for this question. I really don't ever deviate from my opinion, which is 3 years old out of diapers. 3 years old out of diapers. When parents get there and their 3-year-old is not out of diapers, they can't use the kids' clubs. When their 2-year-old, 10-month child is out of diapers, still can't go to the kids' club. 3 years old, out of diapers. You do not want to pay for all that you're paying for and then go, can't use the kids' clubs. So that is my quick answer. 3 years old, out of diapers. How about you?
I'll just second all of that. Yep. No, I mean, so last year when I went with a group of friends, there was a couple that went and they had a 9-month-old, and they knew what they were doing. They knew that their experience was going to be different than most everyone else on that ship because of how young, their baby was. And even those of us traveling with them, like, they knew, like, we would have to break off and do, certain things separate from them because of that. That being said, they absolutely had a wonderful time and they absolutely enjoyed themselves. It was their first Disney cruise. They do plan on doing more Disney cruising in the future, but it was most definitely a different experience for them. And I will tell you, the number one thing, we did a podcast episode about it, was the mother, Morgan, of the baby. She said the greatest thing she did for that entire cruise was when we were at Lookout Key. We had a private cabana, and it was the greatest thing ever for someone with a little one. So that's all I got to say. But yes, I mean, Tricia, what you recommended makes perfect sense. Yeah.
I just feel like, because listen, when you're walking by, it happens. But my daughter, but my son, there's just a rule. And so instead of trying to get there and think, but he's tall, he looks older than 3, they know his age. They know her age. Just follow the rule. And then you're going to be fine, right? Yeah. It's kind of, I laugh with Jack Diaper Dash.
Yep.
Right? They say it every time. There is a walker every single time I've ever watched the Diaper Dash. Because people are like, but my kid will win this if he just doesn't stand up. The kid gets out of your hands, crawls 5 whatever they say steps, but crawls 5 feet and then stands up and boom, he's out. So because the parents want him to win, I get it. I get all of it. Yeah. But just if you follow that, anything older than 3 years old and out of diapers, it's the time of their life.
Yeah.
It's the time of their life. I have, we've talked about it. I have a special needs daughter. I was taking my daughter 5 years old. I was wondering, how is she going to be? Is she going to be able to handle being with a bunch of kids and not with her mom and all the things, all the things? It was great. It was fine. She wanted to go to the club a lot. We had standards. It was fine. It was fine. She knew, and she wanted to spend time with us. She knew every meal would be with us, except for they did have that one meal time thing that they offer, and they did that one time on our cruise. So just to say, do they have great memories? They do. They have fabulous memories from being little. They love the kids club, and to this day, during open house, and my kids are teenage adults, they still go back to the club just for that nostalgia. They go back to Oceaneers just to look around and get a little bit of reminiscing. So anyway, so there you go. Minimum age, though, absolute required minimum, 6 months. Next question. Oh, another entire topic, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to entire topic it. We're going to give you our opinions. I'll let you start this time because I've started the last two. Should we do prepaid gratuities?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. Obviously it's based on your preference, essentially. To be quite honest with you, I don't. Did you know that about me, Tricia?
I didn't.
So I'm a little weird. I'm a little weird about things. So what I do instead is I like to have credit. I like to build up my onboard credit before I get on the ship. So like I apply onboard credit to my account, and just less you got to pay for when I'm just on board buying things. And so I just take whatever the gratuities is. I just take that and just put it as onboard credit on my account, knowing for gratuities. There is no difference than prepaying for gratuities outright.
Okay.
When you book, it's perfectly fine. It's just something that I've always done. I've just always done it that way ever since I started cruising. So, now when you actually book a cruise, you can actually go ahead and just check the box and add gratuities right in when you're originally booking the cruise. So, yeah, that's probably the easiest thing to do. Ultimately, you're going to be paying it either way. So it doesn't really matter, but I guess you could just say I'm just stuck in my old ways of doing it the other way and I just haven't changed. But yeah, that's kind of my answer.
Okay, so if you do not prepay gratuities, I will talk about that, right? So one, I prepay my gratuities. I do because I like the little envelopes and the little green slips, and they arrive. I know, do I prepare to pay more than the recommended? Of course I do. Mm-hmm. I generally expect great service. They've brought me up to expect great service. And so I am always prepared to, but I'm also not the kind, knowing how hard they work, to pay less than the recommended.
Yep.
Okay. So now let's pretend you have not prepaid your gratuities. Your gratuities are going to be added to your folio, your shipboard account.
Yep.
The only way to not give them gratuity is to go to the desk and say, I don't want to give that much. No, I don't feel I got that kind of service. Take this person and cut it in half, or take this person or remove this person. I don't want to give that person a tip, a gratuity. That would be the only way to not do it.
Correct.
And you have that right. Believe me, you have the right to do that. But I will just say that whether you prepay it or if you get to the ship, your ship will immediately start with the cost of your gratuities on your folio. I like keeping a zero balance as low as I can, or as long as I can. So it's like I try not to shop too much, and I try to keep my. So I don't want to see that number increase by, say, $80 because it's gratuities. It's like, I've already spent $80.
So what's funny is I'm kind of the same way, but when you put onboard credit, you start with a negative balance, and it's amazing.
Okay,
Uh,
see, right?
yeah,
So we are now
yeah,
providing multiple opportunities for everybody. So prepay your gratuities. Obviously, you are paying them up front, right? You are paying them at 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, whatever it is, 90 or 120 days before.
yeah.
But if you do not want to pay your, last time was $84, I think, then you can not prepay them, and then when you board, it goes on your folio. So, and
And
then we
for the
did, just so everyone knows, discussed how to reduce it if you actually wanted to.
yeah,
And
and just
then the plan to do more if anyone gives you exceptional service. Okay, now your
yeah,
turn.
sorry. No, I just wanted to make it clear for the record, I fully expect and know like the general amount will hit my account, and I just have that credit ready to go for it. And then just like Trisha said, we usually take some tens and twenties, and just, if we get above the exceptional service, you will be given an envelope with a slip saying how much you were automatically charged for gratuities. You put the slip in the little envelope, and then you can add some extra cash in if you feel they went above and beyond. So we always do that. That's exactly what we do. I just don't. I guess I do pay for it in advance. I just pay for it a different path. But it is as wide
Okay.
as it is long, I guess, right?
And it is a little different, but it is still gratuities. I'll just say that I usually try to show up with like 10 $1 bills.
Yes.
And for you order something, right? Room service.
Room service, yeah,
So I'm not going to have someone walk all the way down to my room and then not give them at least $1, right?
for sure.
So we do room service. And so I always have singles in the room so that even if I'm not in the room, if the girls order or my husband orders room service, they know where to go to get the dollars to give a tip. So again,
Same.
required?
Yep.
No, but customary. So, all
Yeah.
right. Next one. How do I get the royal gathering?
You want to take
Dustin?
it, Trisha?
Oh, I was going to let you.
You probably have experience. I don't have experience booking it personally.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've
Okay.
helped people do it, of course, but me personally,
Yeah.
I've never.
Right. Okay. So there is a date, right? There is a date. There is a date that is that the 30-day mark? The 30-day mark for a royal
I
gathering.
believe so.
So they on at at midnight. So this is the thing. People usually when they don't get it, it's because they went the wrong day. So if on July 5th, on July 5th, you are eligible for your royal gathering, people think, okay, July 5th at midnight, and they wait until July 5th, 11:50 p.m. to get online, and then no, it was actually July 4th in that scenario. So it is technically right the night before the stroke of midnight on this brand new day. It opens for everybody to be able to go into events and onboard offerings and then look for Royal Gathering and then select it. Now, here's the thing. The reason it's better to do it 30 days than any other time is because otherwise only Pearl people would have it. And then only Platinum people would have it. And maybe some lucky gold people would have it. And then Silver would never get it at all. So to say on the 30th day, they're going to open it up for everybody who's willing to be up at midnight Eastern Standard Time. They're going to turn a switch and open up the booking of Royal Gathering. If you do not know what Royal Gathering is, it is when, I don't know, usually 4 or 5 princesses all come out into the grand lobby, no matter what the grand lobby is. And they get one after the other, and you can meet all 4 or 5 princesses back to back. And there's ropes up, and if you do not have a reservation, you are not doing that. You could still meet princesses one at a time by finding their own line throughout the week or throughout the time of the cruise. But to be able to meet all 5 princesses or all 4 princesses in a row, really the only way to do that is the Royal Gathering. And so when you have somebody who's got a little girl who really needs the royal gathering, that's where you talk to someone who's done it before and they help you through. But it is midnight, 30 days. It's the last part of the onboard check-in kind of thing. And you go to, it's onboard experiences, right? That's the little label. My plans, onboard activities or onboard experiences, click on that. You should already know the day of the royal gathering. You could have found that out anytime before. Go to the proper day, open it up, and get yours. 7-day cruises, I think, might have 2.
I think they do. Yep, I think so.
Yeah.
They used to.
But, yeah. Or they're generally sea days. So if there's 2 sea days, then there'll be 2. So have I done a royal gathering? Of course I have. They're wonderful. They're fun. Have I seen a royal gathering from above or from behind the rope? Yes, more often than not, because I don't always feel the need to do a royal gathering. But this last time, I cruised at only 10 days. So I knew I wasn't getting in this royal gathering. But yeah, that's how you do it. And again, enlisting the help of somebody is a good idea. Planners know how to help you through that. I recently had somebody who did it wrong. I said, have you got this? And they're like, we got this. I'm like, okay. And they're like, I did everything else for them. And I'm like, do we need the help getting the royal gathering? And they're like, nope. And then they didn't do it at midnight. And then they didn't do it. They didn't get it. But hopefully when they get on, I do hear that magic can happen when you get on the ship. I just don't know if that's true, but I hear it is.
Yeah. At the end of the day, no matter what it is on Disney Cruise Line, it never hurts to ask.
It never hurts to ask. They want to make magic.
Yep.
Okay. Next one. Again, we're going to do some gut reaction stuff, right? If you could undo a mistake or change something about Disney Cruise Line, what would you pick? Now, this absolutely is a whole podcast. Yeah. But I have my very quick answer, and then I'd have expanded answers. How about you? Do you have a quick or a quick answer? Let's do the quick ones first.
Yeah, I have a quick one. Okay, so I would bring back the buffet after the fireworks. After the Pirates in the Caribbean fireworks show, there used to be a buffet with like some turkey legs and things like that. And it's funny that that's the first thing I say when I say I prefer sit down over buffets. But you know what? When it's 11 o'clock at night and you're on a cruise ship, of course you want to eat more, right?
Right, the midnight buffet. I mean, Disney didn't have a midnight buffet, but that was like a thing, the midnight buffet. So
that's just the first thing that comes to mind real quick.
Okay. So my first things, plural, are, and I feel very strongly about these things. Now, you and I have talked about it. I don't know if we've talked about it just privately or on one of our podcasts, because we do a lot of talking privately as well. Okay, so it is update the trivia.
Yeah.
Update the menus. Yeah. Now, I felt very strongly about the menus. However, there are this year new menu items this year. So I've been going for all these years, and every menu has been identical year after year after year. This year, to my surprise, there were new menus. Mostly the same old stuff, and they added a few new things. So I still feel the menu has to be a little bit overhauled, but I feel very strongly about the trivia. Because people who have been on 40, 50 cruises, they answer every question perfectly. Yeah. Hello, you did not know those answers. You wrote them down, you took them, you've heard this thing 75 times, you win it every time. There are first timers aboard. There are people who are silver and gold they're getting on the ship for the very first time. can't you please give it a realistic, And we do live in a digital world. They could do one of the pick a prize wheel, and they could load 50 questions, and randomly it will bring up 20 of them. So I think it is high time that they overhaul the trivia.
Yes. Those are good. Those are good. I feel like I have another little one. I'm sure there's like a dozen huge things I wish Disney would undo. I'm sure there is. But another one, it involves food, and that is on the first four ships, the Dream class and the Magic class, at their coffee shops, Cove Cafe, Vista Cafe. They give out free little pastry. Yes. Why can't we do that on the Wish class ships as well?
When I have a coffee, I want a little dessert.
Yep.
I want a bite. I want something sweet because I don't sweeten my coffee. So I want something sweet with it. The little muffins or whatever. Yes. Believe me, that's also high on my list. It didn't hit my very first thought though.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Dustin, you and I'm going to count down visually so he can see me. And we're going to say one word, right? We're going to say one word of the giant things they could change if they could. Ready?
Oh.
Nope. You know what it is. And we're both going to say the word and see if it's the same word.
Oh, I have no idea. This is so terrifying.
Tell me if you're ready. It's one big thing, a big thing that Disney could, if they could undo it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the Disney Adventure.
Oh, I was thinking, okay, yeah, 120%, yes. I was thinking on individual cruises.
I thought for sure we were going to say it at the exact same time.
Man. I failed that test. I'm so sorry.
No. When I read the question, that was my answer. My answer, it went to the biggest thing first, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a whole podcast. We can't talk about that here.
Yeah.
But that's my big one. And I would love to talk about it in a future podcast.
Okay.
But we are not going to talk about that here. Anything else that you can think of that's on those little things but oh my gosh, Cove Cafe. Cannot agree enough about Cove Cafe.
Yeah.
Because I am there all the time on the first 4 ships, and I hardly ever go on the Wish class.
Yeah.
This was a lot.
And I'm sure if you're at home listening to this right now, you're probably screaming a million different things right now is what we should be saying. And I apologize.
Well, again, you know what? That is a good question. And I think maybe we come back to this question by itself for a podcast. And then we maybe ask a few more questions of our fans, right?
I think that would be great.
And what they wrote was, if you could undo a mistake or change something. And when I saw undo a mistake, I'm like, adventure. So that's my undo. All right. Next question, because it's already 7:30 here, and your place too. Oh, this is a Walt Disney World question.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to skip that one because it's Walt Disney World.
The suspense.
Will my teenager be bored? I know that you don't have a teen, but do you have an opinion? I certainly do.
Yeah, so I have a couple of cousins who I cruise with every once in a while, and they are both teenagers, and they are never bored. They love it. They think it is so good. So not only, so like that, the teenagers is kind of that sweet spot where they have their own clubs to go to based on their specific age, which is great and they love. But they're also old enough where like they can just go out and meet some characters without having a parent or an adult take them.
Yeah.
So they think it's great. They can go up to the top deck
Oh, the
and get,
independence.
yes, and
Yeah.
get pizza at night, and they can get, something to drink in the evening. They can go up there and watch a movie on the funnel vision. And yes, it's the independence. And the great thing is too, it is a Disney cruise ship. And so the parents feel more comfortable with the kids doing that there versus, walking around a Disney resort maybe, or even a non-Disney resort, at that
Yeah.
age by themselves. So yes, they love it. They really do.
They do. Okay, so again, my kids started traveling when they were 5 on Disney Cruise Line, and 5 and 6, or 4 and 5 maybe. Anyway, they were teenagers. They have done the Edge, the Vibe, and now they're in the 18-20 club. And so just to say they have been all the way from Oceaneers up through the ranks, and they're still doing the 18. The clubs are still cool at 18 to 20. So yeah, they have tons of activities. They have surprise activities. They have things like, for example, when you get a little bit older, I think it's going to be the Vibe age, which starts at 14. They have create your own mocktail, and you create a mocktail, and then like the guides come and judge it and see who had the best mocktail. I mean, you're no longer being read a story by Princess, right? When you're in Vibe, you are now doing cool things. Yes, they're playing video games. Yes, they have contests. Yes, they have karaoke. They have got a lot going on for the teenagers. And on long sailing, so like a week-long sailing, they do what is it called? What is it called when
is it like a flash mob?
Flash mob. Yeah, they have a flash. They have had anyway. I think it's not on every ship, but on certain ships, on week-long sailings, they'll do a flash mob, and they'll like, it was a complete shock to me. I did not know it was going to happen. It's not on any of the plans. They told the kids where they needed to be. They said, make sure your parents are there with you because they won't want to miss it. And I didn't. And I didn't because my kids were there and they're like, we've got to go, Mom. I want to go on deck 9 or deck 10. I want to go to deck 10. And a lot of times we would watch from the above deck. No, I want to go on deck 10 today. Okay, fine. Deck 10, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's because they had this planned. So believe me, they are not bored. They are not bored. So that is my quick answer.
And I will give just a little sneak peek at what I have coming on my Instagram account. So in September 5th through the 12th is when I'm going to be on the Disney Treasure this is a big family vacation. I have my aunt, uncle, my mom, and so my cousins, Tony and Jordan, they are ages 17 and 15. They have agreed to kind of do like a takeover of my Instagram story for part of that sailing because I love bringing everybody the content, but there's just certain areas on the ship that I can't get content for based on my age. And so they are so excited to kind of take over my Instagram stories for a couple of days of the cruise and take everybody on a journey with it. So if you're listening now, just know that is coming soon. And even after it's done, if you're listening, we're past this date, I'll save those stories as its own spot on my page. So so I'm looking forward to that too, and really just seeing what content they're able to bring me for you all. So that's coming soon.
All right, super cool. Next question, and we're gonna have to time box it, but okay, this one could be very quick though. Are hiding and finding ducks a thing on Disney? Yes. Yep. I will say this last trip, there were a lot of those really tiny ducks. Those ones that you buy a bag full for a few dollars, like they're smaller than a penny. They fit on a penny. A lot of those ducks. But leaving ducks and hiding ducks and finding ducks, totally a thing. Right? We could probably just put that there. The answer is yes.
Yep. I think I've seen, I think it's discouraged in certain areas of the ship, of course, so I've seen a couple of times where a cast member will be walking by and they'll see it and they just, for whatever reason, wherever it's placed, they'll pick it up, but then they'll hand it to the first child that they see. So I've witnessed that a couple of times. So just be mindful of where you're placing them.
Yeah, right. I'm sure some of that comes to where it should or should not be. Okay, I think this should be our last one because of the time we've spent on this podcast. But I love this idea, and I think we should pick this back up. Are balconies worth it? All right. I have strong opinions. I will let you go first.
Yeah. There is a case to be made, I feel like, for everybody in every situation. And I've struggled with this myself over the years. I've been on 22 cruises, and probably 19 of those cruises, I've always had a veranda. And I've never once regretted having a veranda. But at the same time, it definitely doesn't, I don't have less of an experience if I don't have the veranda. But I really enjoy my quiet time in the morning out on the veranda. It's just something, it's one of the reasons why I actually love cruising in general. It's kind of just the peace that I feel being out in the middle of the ocean and just, just having some prayer and worship time on my own. And it's really special. So I really enjoy it. But yeah, so I mean, I guess if you're able to make it happen, I think you should be intentional, because you can also have it and then it's the last night of your cruise and you realize you barely spent any time out there. So I could see why, absolutely, based on try to know the type of Disney cruise you want to have, because it might be a waste of money. You might be able to take that money and put it elsewhere to do other things. That could also be the difference between you getting a private cabana, when you're on one of Disney's private destinations. So,
and that's going to be part of my answer.
Yeah,
so
go right ahead. But yes.
Okay. So when I am talking to somebody and I'm quoting somebody on a Disney cruise and we talk about a ocean view or balcony. Now, sometimes the price difference, I want to say almost on general, on certain length trips, right? It's about $500. $500 difference. So then it's like, okay, will you get $500 worth out on the balcony? Will you be intentional? Will you make it a point to get on that balcony every day for a certain length of time? Whatever. I mean, everyone has to choose their own budget. But if the difference is 500, I like to tell them, because when you measure the square feet of the room and you measure the square foot with balcony, it's like, this is almost the exact same size room because they're adding on the size of the balcony. So I tell that to people when they ask me the question, do I love a balcony? Of course I do. On this last cruise that I had, I did have a balcony because I booked last minute and I booked a guaranteed room, which we haven't talked about either, but I booked a guaranteed room. So whatever you get, you get. And I happened to get a balcony. So, and did I like it? I did. Did I go out there? I did. If I paid $500 for it, would I have been happy? There's a lot you can do with $500, right? You can get the drink of the day. You can go to Palo more than once. You can, there's a list of things that you can do with that $500. So for me, I more often have an ocean view room than any other kind of room.
Yeah.
Because I want to save that $500. So
completely fair.
That's me.
Absolutely.
And then I then say, I have to get on deck. I have to go up on deck. I have to go on deck because I want to see that. So I have to go on deck. So, but again, I do have to force myself because it's also easy to not go on deck. There's stuff happening on that ship everywhere. And you could go a whole day without going out on deck and then be like, I never went outside today. Isn't that crazy?
It is.
But it can happen. So I think the question was, are balconies worth it? Is a very family and financial decision. When people are basing it on finance, I like to be full disclosure and give them that. And if it's based on family because they have little ones and they're nervous, a lot of people don't do it for that reason too. Like, I don't want my kid anywhere near a balcony. Got you. Sure. An ocean view for you. But are they lovely? Of course they are. Of course they are. They're great. Right.
And it's also great. It's a great way if you want to save money too. If when you get a quote for a specific cruise, if it's a little higher than what you were thinking, then go down to an ocean view. Like that's a great way to save money,
Yeah.
if you have to look at it like that.
Yeah. Right. So I think we are agreed, kinda.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right. We have run well over an hour and a half. So I think what I want to do is, as we usually do, because we have lots of opinions, of the 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We did 9 of the 22. So I think we saved the other ones for next time.
Yeah.
And we consider a podcast on DCL mistakes.
I think that's great. And we also, like, between the both of us, we have some really cool trips coming up that we're going to be wanting to talk about too once we go on them. So
Absolutely. So for me, I'm going to say I have a couple things brewing, but we both have treasure trips in September.
Yep.
Dustin and I both have treasure trips in September and excited about those. And then Dustin is going to Europe, not with DCL, but he will be showcasing where?
Yeah, so it is going to be a pretty big trip, my first time across the pond, as they say, but starting out in Italy and then going over to Switzerland and then ending in Paris, which will include a couple of nights stay at a Disneyland hotel in Paris and then a full day at Disneyland Paris as well. So super excited about that trip. And I will probably be in Europe when this podcast comes out. I leave in just 3 days. So yeah, feel free to follow me on all the socials. I'll be bringing it all to everybody. And I'm not sure if you're doing this or not, Tricia, but the night before I get on the Disney Treasure in September, we just added on Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at Magic Kingdom. So
yeah, we probably have the exact same plan. Because yes, there is one just before our party just the night before. So yeah, it does make perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yep, it sure does. So I actually just bought my tickets for the party this week. So it never really clicked until actually my Jordan, my 17-year-old cousin, he's just like, "What are we doing the night before?" He's like, "Can we just do a park?" And I was like, "Oh, you know what? I bet you there's a party that night." And I didn't even realize it. And sure enough, there is. Like I felt like a horrible Disney fan at that point in time, but hey, we made it. We got tickets. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Now I have something, but it's way in the future and it's not Disney, but in 2028, I have a group booked. Actually, we have a group booked in 2027 for the Destiny, right? So we have people going aboard the Disney Destiny in September of 27. We have a group of, I don't know, are we up to like 12 cabins maybe?
It's something like that. Yeah, I believe so.
Something like that. We have up to 12 cabins right now, and we're going to try and do a live like podcast while we're there. And then also, then we're going to skip ahead to 28 where I'm hosting a group in Europe. So it's going to be Italy, France, Sicily, Greece, Croatia, and finishing back in Italy. So it's a 10-night Mediterranean and Adriatic Sea with Princess Cruise Line, who is my other favorite. So if I am not on a Disney cruise, I am on a Princess cruise. So if you have any questions about that, you can also ask me. And again, we are putting it out there on our socials, but very excited to be hosting our first groups, right? So it started as the Dustin on deck, and I'm like, well, I'm going to be on deck with you. And then I started inviting people, and then we had another agent join us. So we're up to 4 travel agents are going to be on the on-deck cruise already. We have 2 more that are trying to figure out how to do it. And then they're inviting their friends and family. So we really are kind of having like this little Visit Mickey thing on the Destiny in September of 27. And then in June of 28 is going to be my 10 night. So yes, we are cruise fanatics.
And on our group cruise for the Destiny, we're going to both islands. We're going to Lookout Key and Castaway Key. So it's and then we have
the double stop.
Yeah. So it's
Yep,
going to be a
the
great
double stop.
itinerary.
It's the way to go. And actually, the Destiny I was just on was a 5 night, and that was really great.
Absolutely.
Really
Yep.
great. I love a
That
5.
five nighter it's just a sweet spot. It's so good.
It really is. And I was really happy for it. So, but
Good.
yes, I'm very excited about all the things we have coming up. We have, let's see, how many? 12, 13? We have 13 unanswered questions. So we will get back to those next time. Dustin, you have an amazing time in Europe. I mean, I'm going to be following. I'm probably going to say, once you get to Disneyland Paris, you're going to have to tag Visit Mickey because they need to see what you're seeing, and the account can show it to all of our friends. But wait till you see how beautiful that castle is, especially at night. It is the most romantic one. It's the most romantic castle. It's so beautiful. So,
I'm
and
excited.
their nighttime spectacular. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wait till you see. I mean, that's how I was. And I was with Robert, and he was like, we don't do half of this. I'm like, shh, don't tell. And he's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
It's that good. You'll see. So,
Can't wait.
okay. Well, thank you everybody for sticking with us at All Aboard with Visit Mickey. And until next time, which I don't know what we're talking about next, but I do have lined up 2 things that are coming soon. I have one of my team members is coming on to talk about traveling with special needs. So she is a special needs individual. She is also a planner, and she wants to talk about what it's like to travel as a special needs person and what Disney does to accommodate it. And then also part 2, we have another Disney Cruise Line episode that's going to be about getting married at sea. So if you have not found, let's see, Star Stuff with Patty. Is that how she goes by? Oh my gosh, I should know. But is it Patty with Star Stuff or Star Stuff with Patty? Pause a second, everybody. Can you get there before I get there?
Patty Star Stuff Travel.
Star Stuff Travel with Patty or Patty with?
Patty Star Stuff Travel.
Patty Stuff Star. Okay. So Patty Star Stuff Travel. Remember, we are co-branded. So we have Visit Mickey and Star Stuff Travel. So Patty Star Stuff Travel on her Instagram, she just shared the montage video of her daughter's wedding from Disney Cruise Line. Oh my gosh, if it does not make you want to get married on a Disney cruise. So she is going to do an All Aboard with Visit Mickey podcast with us to talk about what it's like to get married on a Disney cruise. So we have some great episodes coming up. Always stay with us. Thank you so much. We are beyond grateful for the feedback that we get. We're just beyond grateful. So thank you. And until next time, bye.
Bye.